as best we can before the storm hits. You can help by knowing your risks, getting flood insurance, and being familiar with your evacuation route. Let's all do our part to be hurricane strong. The steps we take today can help minimize damage tomorrow. Learn more at riema.ri.gov.
Brought to you by Governor Dan McKee and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Hi, this is Steve Paluso, owner of Paluso Precision Automotive in Mendon. Since 2017, Paluso Precision Automotive has been your destination for auto care, transmissions, and general classic car repair. I've had a passion for classic cars since I was born, and I started hanging around a gas station when I was 7 years old. Plus, I have more than 40 years of experience repairing the classics. So if you have a 53 Bel Air, or a 67 Mustang, or a 71 Dodge, and it needs servicing, bring it to Paluso Precision Automotive, 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon. Paluso Precision Automotive is your vintage car specialist, so give us a call at 508-478-8900. And remember the number, it's 508-478-8900.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at wonsocketradio.com.
All right, we are back, and let's get to the movie trivia here. Eddie, throw out your commonality.
My commonality is, what is it now? Hot, great, and girl.
And you got to know all three.
Yeah, okay. Got to know the movies.
Yes.
The actor and the three movies.
And the same thing goes for mine. This is really hard to do because it's hard to find three movies from somebody that you can pick words out that don't just immediately identify the actor or actress. So mine is Killers, Donovan, and Wagon. This should be easy for anybody who watches movies, but we'll put that out there. And I want to continue our tribute to teachers this week. If you have a teacher that was a significant part of your life and influenced you in any positive way, then please, give us a call and give them some credit for whatever they did for you. Same thing goes with any career choices that you made that were inspired by someone, and maybe one more. Any of you that served in the military, who inspired you to do that? Did someone inspire you to do that, or did you just do it all by yourself? We often don't credit people who influence us in a positive way in our lives, and we're great at blaming people. I had a horrible mother. I had a horrible father. We need to. This is how you encourage people to be good people. You make them important. So give us a call about that. And Louise, I want you to fire off a couple trivia questions, and we'll get the calls.
Well, we have a couple more leftovers from yesterday. First, the one referenced by Moose, a Trivial Pursuit question: who was the first woman to top the country charts? But also, Gary, I think yesterday you mentioned in the movie Big Chill, which was a favorite, that in the opening credits, the funeral director is preparing the body for viewing at the wake, and it's an uncredited actor, a famous actor who's in the casket, and that has yet to be answered. And a couple more questions from the Trivial Pursuit RPM edition. This is from the 1960s category. What's Cream's farewell album? What was the title of Cream's farewell album? And from the 1950s category, what teen fave got $35,000 for his movie appearance in Hound Dog Man? A movie I'd never heard of, Hound Dog Man.
I can't say that I've heard it either. All righty. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, it's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
to answer one of the trivia questions in the Big Chill. If I remember correctly, that was Kevin Costner in the casket.
And you are correct. And he was promised, because his face was never shown in that, he was promised a major part in the next movie, and which featured some of the same cast, and it was Silverado.
And between the two songs, I got to go with Louise's song, Sunday Will Never Be the Same.
Thank you, Bobby.
Well, poo on you.
Well, as a kid, I never minded Sunday. Now, as an adult, well, Sunday night comes around, and I think I'll use Shakespeare. What kind of nitwittery is going to vex me on the morrow?
Oh, that's perfect.
Because I never know what kind of blank storm I'm going to walk into, and it's always. But and I still haven't figured out who the first female country star is. I want to say something like Kitty Wells, but that's far too obvious.
And you would be correct. It is
Kitty Wells?
According to Trivial Pursuit, yes, you are correct. And,
oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. And
that was a stab in the dark.
Well, and in trying to Google her last night to get more information, she was called the Queen of Country Music, which I would have thought would have been reserved for Loretta Lynn, but what do I know? And just because I found this online, her first, I guess her breakthrough hit was entitled, It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels.
Yep.
Never heard it.
Yep. I grew up in southeast Oklahoma, so, Kitty, Patsy, Loretta, Dolly, those were all staples in our household. All right, well, I took a stab and I got it.
You did?
Yeah. Good job.
All righty, that's it for now, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Bye-bye.
All right. We have to kill a minute here before the break. Whoops. What are you pointing at? Is that what you're pointing at?
I'm pointing at you for you to do your job.
Well, then I'll take the opportunity to share a story. My angst didn't go away when I started to go to college, and I still remember vividly my first morning at Bryant College. It was Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Stanley J. Kozakowski, God rest his soul, he was English Comp 1. And, it's your first day of college and you're anxious anyway. So what does he say after, the first 15 minutes of introductions? I'm going to give you a quiz. And just to see where everybody's at in terms of grammar and syntax. Oh, okay. So I'm like near panicking. And he hands out this 10, 12 page mimeograph test because we didn't have laptops back then. And I look at the first question and I'm like, oh, Sister Ann Miriam's 8th grade English. Second question, oh yeah, Sister Ann Miriam. And I aced that thing because of Sister Ann Miriam, my 8th grade English teacher, who, do you remember when you had to put sentences in a graph, like the adjectives and the adverbs?
Yes, yeah.
She taught me English so well that I was ready for my first day of class at Bryant College. Sister Ann Miriam of the Order of the Sisters of St. Anne, who taught in Central Falls and Manville and other places in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. God bless them.
Well, I suppose I should give some credit to my mother, who was an English teacher. The little tin can that we had nailed to the kitchen wall where we had to deposit our nickels every time we said a double negative, and or any other grammatical errors. And it really stuck with me. My brother's not so much, but anyway.
Go break.
Yes, we have to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON, Woonsocket. Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, and MLS number 465956.
This ON AM and FM forecast brought to you by Jig Air and Marchand Oil Service, 25 Montcalm Avenue in Blackstone, 508-883-6010. Sunny skies today with a high of 78 and a calm wind. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 55. Friday's weather, partly sunny with a high of 76. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Sunday, sunshine and 74. Monday, sunshine and 75. Tuesday, sunshine and 78. And on Wednesday, sunshine and 79 degrees.
All right, we are back. Let's get right to the calls. And good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning. Nope.
I don't know. Come on. Oh, whoops, there we go. Good morning. To whom am I speaking? Why isn't anybody talking to me? All right. Well, whoever you are, call back. Because they're not answering. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong here, which wouldn't be the first time. All right. Nobody's come up with an answer for my... I thought this was going to be an easy one.
Well, I only have 2 out of the 3, Gary, but do you want to let me know if I'm in the right ballpark?
No.
Okay.
It's too soon.
Be like that. Well,
giving me a dose of my own medicine here.
Well, let me throw out my own. You stated something that's very true, because most of the actors and actresses that I want to highlight are either in like one-word title movies, which would give it away. So the people that I want to highlight, I'm associating them with their co-stars. So I need you to name me the actor who starred with the following women: Tippi Hedren, Kim Basinger, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Now, this is an actor of, my mother's generation, but he lived a long life, so I got to enjoy him too. So his co-stars were in different movies were Tippi Hedren, Kim Basinger, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. And if you can name the movies, you get extra points.
All right. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hey, hello. Back at you guys?
Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Yep.
I had been on the line all along, Gary.
Oh, you have? Okay, well,
Yes, sir.
I don't know what was going on there, but it seems to have been resolved. So go ahead.
Well, it is. Trying to catch you between the breaks here. Louise, I think you're looking for the last album by Cream. It's called Goodbye.
You are correct.
Yeah, I've had a couple of Cream albums. They probably way great.
I was going to say that as a joke.
Really?
Well, go with your first instinct.
Yeah, really, huh?
That's too funny.
It's like, what color is the White Album?
It's black.
No, I forgot
What color is the White House?
Are you looking for John Wayne, Gary?
No.
Tom Donovan.
Nope.
No.
But he was a co-star in one of these movies. Actually, he was the star in one of these movies.
I don't know about your commonality there, Fast Eddie. Hot, great, and girl.
Yep.
That's an easy
All
one.
blonde actresses.
No.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. No. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
And incidentally, Eddie is looking for an actor.
An actor.
Aha. Paul Newman. No. I would get him.
When things don't work,
But the
just throw out Paul
first name
Newman.
that came to me, for some crazy reason earlier, is Tony Curtis.
You got it.
What?
Now
That's
name the
first-
movies. Name the movies.
Well, The Great Houdini, yes.
No. Well, I had The Great Race.
The Great Race,
Yeah.
okay.
But he might have been
and
in
then
Great.
the one he played with Jack Lemmon.
He did. I'm sorry. What did you say about Jack Lemmon?
The one he played, co-starred with
Yes.
Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon and Peter Falk and Larry Storch
was a
and
great
Natalie Wood.
But the Jack Lemmon, he was also with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was the hot one. Some like it hot.
That's it. That's the one. And
Now,
girl? What's
girl.
the girl thing?
Sex and the Single Girl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the first name I had down. You have no bell over here, so.
And ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, we don't do that
we
anymore.
don't ding, ding. We don't ding, ding no more.
You know, you're talking about teachers. I'm going to go back real quick, and just a coincidence. And Fast Eddie, I was waiting for you to get on the show this week, because you might be familiar with this. One of the first teachers I recall, as far as, you know, in the early grades, was a lady called Mrs. Callahan. Just so happens, of course, Callahan's last name. I'm trying to talk to Joe to see if there's any kind of, perhaps a relation to her. Do you remember her? She was a math teacher, 4th or 5th grade, Eddie. A little thing, a perky little thing, 4'11". If she weighed 80 pounds, it's like a soft wind would blow her over.
No, doesn't ring a bell with me.
Mrs. Callahan.
Was this Social Street School?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
doesn't
it
ring
was.
a bell. 5th grade?
4th or 5th grade. I think it was 5th.
In the 4th grade, I had Miss Horde.
I got to preface this. It's absolutely amazing to me that you guys grew up at the same time in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, and neither one of you share a memory.
We were one street apart.
Yeah, that's true. We never knew it. Never.
Knew. One street apart.
Never knew it. And all my relatives lived on Page Street.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And I lived on Page Street.
I lived on Page Street. I was born on Page Street. I actually was born on Page Street. In a house.
On the street? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. In the house, on the street, right above Nanto's Variety Fast Day.
Yep. Red and white variety.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Fred's
it.
Bar.
My aunt lived on Page Street at the same time, across the street. So it's amazing we don't know each other. Listen, I'm going to move on. I haven't had a question here, so this is something about the Record Industry Association. In 2018, total sales of this item dropped 26% from the year prior. Total sales of what? In 2018, 26%, according to the Record Industry Association. 26% of this item dropped compared to the year before.
Cassettes?
So leave that out there for the guys. And I write the songs. Barry Manilow didn't write it. Who wrote I Write the Songs? I'll leave that out there for the audience. Hey, thanks for your time, Mrs. Callahan. So, anyway, hopefully we'll get back to you before the end of the show. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Eddie had mentioned The Great Race, which, if you haven't seen the movie The Great Race, you've got to see it.
It's a long movie.
It's
It's
a
like
long movie,
3 hours,
but
but it's hilarious.
but it's so entertaining. You have the great Leslie, Tony Curtis. He's all dressed in white, and throughout this whole movie, he never gets so much as a blemish on his on his white suit. And whenever he smiles, you get that little star sparkle from his gold tooth.
His eyes sparkle.
His eyes sparkle too. I mean, it's so much fun. And Peter Falk and Jack Lemmon as Professor Fate, competing in this cross country race. They're just absolutely hilarious.
He had the white car, and Peter Falk
has the black car.
Jack Lemmon had the black car.
And they have a button that you're supposed to press, and every time you press the button, something happens.
Yeah, a
cannon gets fired or something. And he's always saying, "Press the button, Max!" And Peter Falk would invariably screw it up and end up blowing up something that he wasn't supposed to blow up. And it's just Natalie Wood is gorgeous in this movie, and she plays a libertine, the reporter who thinks she can do everything a man can do, and the sword fight is wonderful between her and Tony Curtis, and so. No, if you'd been the men's champion, you would have won. I was the woman's champion. But no, if you'd been the men's champion, that would have been a different story. But no. I just love this movie. It's one of those movies that when you see, you just gotta watch it. Larry Storch is phenomenal. Ross Martin
was
plays the evil prince.
Well, Jack Lemmon played two parts. He played he played the king.
Oh yes! Oh God, yes! That's hysterical.
He played two
absolutely
parts
hysterical.
In the movie,
So yeah, I mean, must watch movie. We don't get enough laughs in this life, and this one will set you up for the week. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hi, Gary. It's Mike from Cumberland. How are you?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, I got a couple questions. Last week, someone on your show was talking about the Lafayette Theater. I believe that was either in Valley Falls or Central Falls.
That would have been Louise.
Clarification on to where that Lafayette Theater was located. To answer Moose's trivia question, it's Beach Boy Bruce Johnston. And my vote for the song is Spanky.
Okay.
All right, have a good day,
Mike.
folks.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, Mike, let me clarify that the Lafayette Theater was on the corner of Broad Street in Central Falls, where Broad Street meets Ledge. It was later sold, I believe, and the name became the Holiday Cinema. And sometime, decades ago, it became empty, and it was sold to a church, and it's now an Assembly of God church. And but the building physically is still there, but Lafayette was in Central Falls. That was our cinema. Double features all the time.
All right, good morning. To whom am I speaking?
It's me.
It's you.
It's you. Who's you?
It is. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Sheila.
Good morning,
Okay.
Sheila.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go with Louise with Spanky and Aki.
Thank you, Sheila.
And also, I was going to say Bruce Johnston wrote, I write the songs. And also, regarding the theaters in Central Falls, Louise, there was another one on Dexter Street. And I don't know if it was called the Center. This was even, I think this was even, I don't know, still around, not still around rather, but if the Lafayette and that, I think, running at the same time.
Well, the one on Dexter is way before my time. That might have been in the 50s.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would have been way back then.
Sheila, excuse me, Sheila, do you remember the Leroy?
Oh, definitely. That's where I stood in line to see Love Me Tender. Elvis did it. So I can remember standing in Ray Mullins' music store, was right next door and whatever.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the big city for us, I lived in Valley Falls, Cumberland, whatever.
Ray Mullins took up half the block.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. Yes. Oh, and also upstairs with Teresa Landry, I had taken tap dancing lessons for a while from her. So these are going really way back.
Oh, I remember her name. She was very prominent in the local community, and she was a famous alum from my high school. She graduated from Notre Dame High School in Central Falls, and she just died the most 5 years ago. She was in her 90s. God rest her soul.
I know. I can remember seeing that, and I brought back the memories of my childhood, which, and lately I've been strolling down memory lane more than ever, so. Okay, well, guys, have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Sheila.
too.
And we
Okay,
do have to go to
goodbye.
a break, and we will be right back.
ON Radio.
Every once in a while, you meet a businessman that you just can't wait to do business with. Steve Paluso of Paluso Precision Automotive at 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon, Mass. is such a man. He specializes in mechanical repairs of vintage and classic cars. And if you don't have one, you'll want to have one just to share the experience with Steve. Maybe you had one in the past, never had a resource like Peluso Precision Automotive to keep it running and chase down parts for you, but now you do. Stop in and see Steve, and Steve will steer you in the right direction. Call Peluso Precision Automotive at 508-478-8900. That's 508-478-8900.
And now, to benefit the 2024 Autumnfest celebration, it's Autumnfest Comedy Night.
How do omelets get into school? They have to pass an exam.
Well, I can see we're going to have to bring the professionals in on this one. And folks, if you want to see true professional local comedians for a good cause, then come to the Autumnfest Comedy Fundraiser, Friday, September 6th at the Woonsocket Elks Hall, 380 Social Street, Woonsocket. This is an 18-plus event. Doors open at 5 and the show starts at 6. Light snacks will be available along with a cash bar and lots of yucks. There'll be raffles, silent auctions, and door prizes. Tickets to the Autumnfest Comedy Fundraiser are $30 per person. Purchase tickets online at this website, funny4funds.com. Bugged Out Barbecue will have their food truck in the parking lot starting at 5 p.m. for your edification. Come on out to the Autumnfest Comedy Fundraiser, Friday night, September 6th at the Woonsocket Elks Hall, 380 Social Street, Woonsocket. Doors open at 5, and the food starts at 5, too. This ON AM and FM weather forecast sponsored by Valley Transportation, now offering transportation using school buses for school field trips, senior bingo trips, weddings, or any other adult trips. Leave the driving to the professionals and the courteous drivers of Valley Transportation, 664 Front Street, Woonsocket. Telephone number 762-5055.
Sunny skies today with a high of 78 and a calm wind. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 55. Friday's weather, partly sunny with a high of 76. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Sunday, sunshine and 74. Monday, sunshine and 75. Tuesday, sunshine and 78. And on Wednesday, sunshine and 79 degrees.
Imperial Cars' month-long Labor Day sales event is going on now. Save thousands when you shop and compare 7 brands and over 2,000 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at one location, ImperialCars.com. Take advantage of interest rates as low as 1.9% on our most popular models. We work with over 60 lenders to get you the best rate. Check out our huge selection of vehicles under $20,000. Click ImperialCars.com.
Okay, so we're back. Hey, before we get to the calls, callers be patient. We just want to recap a little bit, an update on Room 222. I watched 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes last night, and I was so impressed. No wonder that show was so popular. It was a great show. It stands up to the test of time here, and the 2 episodes were one was Richie. Was going to be transferred back to his. He was at Walt Whitman High under false pretenses, because he didn't live in that district, but they figured out a way to make it happen. And the other one was where they doing the class play or whatever it is at the end of the year, and Karen Valentine is in charge of it, and she says they can do anything they want. She is just there to advise. And Gail or Judy Strangus, her name is, says, okay, well, at the end of this, we're going to have a big ending. At the end of the show, everybody's going to take their clothes off. And
it must have been the play Hair.
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. Okay. And Karen Valentine is beside herself because she doesn't know what to do, because she said that it was their show and she was not going to tell them what to do, and so I remember the endings of these shows more than I remember anything else.
Well, it's funny when you mentioned the student that was in the wrong district. He was African American, wasn't he?
Yes.
And one of the last lines he says is, "Shalom, Mr. Dixon."
Well, because the way they got him to stay in the school was only if they taught something at that school, then they didn't teach in his other school at Tyler, and so they only had 2 courses, and one of them was calculus, which he couldn't take because he didn't take trigonometry first, which apparently you had to, and the other one was Hebrew.
But isn't it odd that out of the whole, as you mentioned it, and I'm like, yeah, and I can picture this kid, and I remember the dialogue. Why I have this stuff in my head, I don't know. but Shalom, Mr. Dixon.
But the way Karen Valentine gets away with this, because she's supposed to tell them they can't do this, and everybody's on her to tell the kids this, and she wouldn't do it. They made it very difficult for her. They told her how wonderful she was and how much they appreciated the fact that this was going to be their show. And when it came right down to it, she said, "Okay, we're not going to do a dress rehearsal. We're going to do an undress rehearsal. And instead of having the lights dimmed, we're going to turn them way up. So everybody strip." And of course, none of them would do it. So it solved its own solution there. So anyway.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if we had any callers, but I also...
We do have callers.
Oh, okay. So we can wait.
Okay. Good morning. This is always the thing. We always run out of time at the end here. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, folks.
Hey, Dave.
David from Providence. How are you?
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Great series. Hi, Louise. Hey, Eddie. How are you? Glad to hear Marie's feeling better.
Oh, yeah. She's doing fine.
I think I'm going to watch 2 episodes every night. It was on for 4 years, so this will keep me busy for a while. 5 years, 69 to 74, yes.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
Great series. I was actually looking up the cast list, and I guess Mark Hamill was on it for a couple of episodes as well, too. Star Wars.
Yeah, and in fact, I didn't even notice her in the second episode, but not Meg Ryan. Who am I getting convinced? Somebody we all know. Is there another Meg? Give me a hand here.
Meg Foster.
No.
With the funny eyes, with this, exquisite eyes.
God, I can picture her face. Why can't I think of her name? Oh, I hate getting old. But anyway, I'll come up with it. But and the mean, not mean, but the scary black guy.
His name was Jason, and I looked that up last night.
He went by a single name, which I can't even remember. Do you remember?
Hashima.
Hashima, yeah, and he I looked him up, and they commented on one of the sites that this guy just dropped off the face of the earth. They couldn't find. He apparently was had something to do with radio later on, and he appeared in 1 or 2 things, but then he just disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to this guy.
He played the student Jason, and I should say that somebody called in after we went off the air yesterday, and the kid with the orange afro, his name was Bernie in the show. So I just wanted to add to that trivia too.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, great series. So I'm voting for Spanking Our Gang today.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
I'm getting spanked.
My Spanky.
And I know you guys mentioned the Great Race, and I'm sure this is a softball question, but what Saturday morning cartoon did the Great Race inspire?
Penelope Pit Stop.
That and the Wacky Races,
Oh, okay. That was a spin-off of Wacky Races, yes.
So did you like the Great Race?
Oh, I love the Great Race. Yes. It's a fantastic movie. It's something like Mel Brooks would have directed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
has a kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
True.
you don't hear people talk about it very much, but it is.
That was Blake Edwards.
Blake Edwards, yes, of course. Well,
that fits.
Even if I didn't know that, I would have probably guessed that.
Blake Edwards.
And you can see elements of even like the Pink Panther in there as well too. The way he directed.
Eddie was just talking about the scene where Jack Lemmon, who plays the evil Professor Fate, pops the kid's balloon. Which is a very simple little scene, but it's hilarious.
Great stuff. But that's all I got today, guys. So I will.
All right.
See you guys today. I'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully.
Very good.
Take care.
Thanks, you.
Dave.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking? Hello.
Good morning, Gary. It's Al. How you doing?
Hey, Al. There you are.
I'm gonna continue to spank you, Gary. Sorry.
That's all right.
That's a good feeling song to me.
Thank you.
I was watching, you mentioned Yellow Pages earlier, talking about Steve, and I watched a really great thing on YouTube yesterday. It was called the 30 Things Baby Boomers Would Remember. That was one of them, but if you get a chance, watch that. It's pretty cool. Starts off with like drive-ins and different things like that. But good show.
Yep.
Question. anybody else out there may have remembered when I was in elementary school at Dutcher Street School. Anybody else out there used to be what they used to call patrol boys?
Yep, I was one.
All right.
I was
Which
the captain.
All right, we got the little badge on, the little thing
yeah.
put around us. What school system were you in, Eddie?
Woonsocket.
Oh, all right.
Excellent.
I don't remember anything like this in my.
Yeah, we had flag boys to stop the traffic when.
Flag boys.
Flag boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty proud putting on that little badge thing. That was pretty cool.
I blew the whistle to send all the boys out to the streets. I blew the whistle to bring them all back.
Yeah, we had we had crossing guards, but they were adults.
Okay.
We only had one intersection in Mendon, so.
Well, we called lining up ranks in Central Falls because Central Falls was so small. How small was it? Everybody walked to school because there were so many schools within walking distance, and we called them ranks. But I remember there were leaders that had the special. It was like a little harness.
Yeah, we had a belt.
A belt.
Yeah.
But it came across the shoulder and then across the middle.
Yeah, I had that.
One last thing, I got to give Louise a compliment on. She definitely has a lot of knowledge, but she has a really good radio voice too. Just to let her know.
Thank you so much. That's highly appreciated.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
You guys have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
She looks pretty good too, but she won't allow herself to be on camera.
Yeah,
so.
she's staying incognito, I guess.
Yes.
I was camera shy. Thank you.
She's not really here.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Where was I going to go with this?
Another thing in the great race, halfway through they have intermission. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Intermission comes up and they're playing music.
Well, it's a long movie.
Yeah,
so,
they have intermission.
God, they did that with the Ten Commandments, and what was the other one I saw recently? Oh, The Greatest Story Ever Told. They just have like a faux curtain, and they have intermission and they play music. And
I want to compare two TV shows about schools. Okay, just to give you an idea, the difference, between our, I'm going to say my generation, the 70s and the 80s. Try to compare, if you will, Room 222 with Saved by the Bell.
Oh, there's no comparison.
Well, I can't because I'm proud to say I never saw a single episode of Saved by the Bell.
You are so fortunate.
Neither did I.
You are so fortunate to never have seen that program. It is horrible. It is horrible, but it was so popular with the youth of the day in the 80s that the 80s were just horrible.
Well, and when you said 70s, it's hard to remember that Room 222 was on the cusp. I think it started in 69. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And into the early 70s. But in the late 70s, I loved Welcome Back, Kotter. Yeah. And I knew of Gabe Kaplan because he was a stand-up comedian, and I would see him all the time on Merv Griffin, and I would memorize his routines. And so when he had his own show, I had to gravitate towards that show. And don't forget, it produced John Travolta.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, definitely.
And other stars, too.
Barbarino came a long way.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Well, unlike Saved by the Bell, I think, which I probably saw 2 episodes of accidentally, the Welcome Back, Kotter, first of all, it had the great John Sebastian singing the song, so that right off the bat
it gets points for that. Yes,
sets a tone, and it always had a message. There was always the story at the end, the joke, and Strassman, his wife,
Marcy.
Yes, she was wonderful. But I want to go back to Room 222 for a minute because we mentioned Lloyd Haynes, or I mentioned Lloyd Haynes yesterday. And what happened to him? Well, he died young. He died at 53, I think.
52.
52.
Lung cancer.
Yeah. But he did do a lot of work prior to his death. In fact, he worked right up until practically the day he died. I read.
Well, I too went online and I looked at Wikipedia, and he only did, I think, less than a dozen feature films. But the one that's stuck out for me, one that I would have seen, is in 1977 he appeared in The Greatest, the biopic of Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Starring Muhammad Ali, and but the other movies were lesser known to me, but certainly.
But he did a lot of TV.
I was just going to say a lot of series television.
Yeah. So he was even in a Batman episode, I think, if I remember correctly. But
I think you're right.
I'm going to get this last call, and then we're going to call it a day. Good morning. To whom am I speaking? Let's try that again. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hello?
Yes, Moose. Close the show.
Real quickly, you guys were talking, and it kind of got wrapped up in it, and I know it's late in the show. I want to confirm on Bruce Johnston. He's the one that wrote He's the one that wrote I Write the Songs. So, congrats to Mike and Sheila. You brought up Spanky and Our Gang, Louise, this morning. What a wonderful song.
Thank you.
And Spanky McFarlane, what was her first name? Not Spanky, that's for sure.
No, I saw it.
And I can see why they replaced it with this nickname, because her first name was, so to speak, a common name. It wouldn't fit with Blank and Our Gang.
Well, you got to remember where this whole thing came from. It was the Our Gang comedies, and
That's correct.
Spanky.
That's correct. So she fit it. And I had another question. The RAII question about the record industry, where 26% of the market went down. I'll leave that out. And I'll also put this on, just put this yesterday. They've had Cagney movies on all week, Gary.
I only watch YouTube, and that way I get to watch whatever I want.
Robert Stack, very, we don't bring up his name too much. He did appear in a lot of movies. Name the only film that he was nominated for an Oscar. He didn't win, but he was nominated. However, somebody else in the film did win an Oscar. Name this film.
Okay, well, we don't have time to do it today, but let me answer my own trivia question here.
Yeah, what's that?
The three words from three titles were
Donovan,
Killers, Donovan, and Wagon.
Was Donovan's Reef?
Eddie's got one of them, but who was the actor?
That's why I thought it was John Wayne.
And you thought it was John Wayne.
Donovan's Reef, Paint Your Wagon.
The Killers was the name of the movie. I gave you the whole title practically. So, but that was
that was with Lee Marvin.
And Paint Your Wagon with
Marvin.
Lee Marvin.
Oh,
yes.
you like him. You also bring him up.
I love Lee Marvin.
I know you do.
I remember.
I love Lee Marvin.
The fight in the saloon.
I watched him in a movie the other night where he's in World War II. He's stranded on an island with a Japanese soldier who's been there for a while, and how their relationship evolves from one of enemy versus enemy to just trying to survive together, and a very interesting movie. And I never thought he was an attractive man, but in that movie he looks probably the best he's ever looked, and even though he's hadn't had a shower in 3 months.
The fight in the bar with John Wayne.
You're running a little late, but I'm going to leave those two questions.
Donovan's Reef, though, one of my favorite
the fight in the
favorite
bar
movies.
with Lee Marvin.
I never ceased to cry at that movie when.
So Robert Stack's only nominated a film that he was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, I don't know much about Robert Stack. Obviously, The Untouchables.
I loved Robert Stack. A lot of people said he was not all good of an actor.
No, he was fine. I just don't. I
liked him. He's really good in this film.
I couldn't name a movie he was ever in.
He was in a lot of films.
But
John Paul Jones, he portrayed him. John Paul Jones.
Oh, that's true. Yes, now I remember that one. Yep.
Of course, The Untouchables.
I love that kind of movie. Whenever I see a bunch of sails on a ship, I gotta check it out.
I'm sorry, I'm going late, and I'm sure you guys got to cut out. But leave those two out. That Record Industry Association. What happened 2018, 2017?
Yeah, you're gonna have to remind us tomorrow.
26%.
I got a guess on that anyway.
Lee's got a guess. Eddie's got a guess.
Yeah.
CDs dropping the price. The CDs sales
You're
drop.
Close.
I'm close.
You're close.
Okay.
You are very close. I'm going to leave it out there for tomorrow.
Okay.
And the stack question is all. Hey, Louise.
Yes, sir.
Good going for you. you 2 days in a row. You do have that voice. You do.
Thank you.
You do.
Much appreciated.
You're quite welcome. Have a good day, guys.
All right, everybody.
Take
Thank
care.
you very
Bye-bye.
much. Have a great day.